Okay. Right, well, welcome everyone. We're having a look at performance management today, and we'll go along, ask any questions that you want to along the way, and it should be fairly informal and So,
wonder if Luana.
She's with a patient.
Okay.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll do another one.
She's going to sit with Emily at the front.
Okay.
Okay. Very good. So, do we all know each other? You all do? Yeah? Okay, great. Could you just tell me in what exactly, or give me a little nutshell of what your role is, so that just I can keep that in mind as we go through when we start talking about work plans and things like that. And how are you feeling about your HR performance management kind of knowledge? Can I start? Courtney?
Sure. So alcohol and drug support worker.
Mhm.
And what do you want me to elaborate on? Anything?
So you don't manage staff?
No.
No. Yep.
No, just me and another person in the same role together.
Very good.
So I'm back, I'm
Yeah.
part of the SUB team. I'm new to the role, so I'm learning.
Yeah.
Getting there, yeah.
Very good. Have you had much to do with performance management before, with reviews and things? No.
I'm Rachel, practice nurse. I've only been here some amount of time. I'm only used to performance reviews on a one-to-one basis.
Right.
Not a group thing.
Yeah. So this is just training today. It's not actually how are you going and the
No,
personal stuff.
no.
Yeah. So that's okay.
I'm the practice manager, so I have staff under me that do the quarterly performance reviews or catch-ups. I don't have a work plan as such for myself, so I think that's the next step for Ellie and I to look at.
Very good.
I'm Cal, I'm with Beck, started the same time, been off because of an injury, obviously. But yeah, I had all these with work, like my previous roles.
Yes.
So we had them once a month, with our CEO.
Great.
They were really good,
All with the CEO.
all with the CEO, because she was the one that did, looked after us all, I guess you would say. So yeah, she was the one that was in charge, and she actually liked doing them because she needed to see where she needed to get better as well for the industry. So yeah, it was really good.
And how many staff?
So at the time, we were so there was 3 staff at East Gippsland, 2 staff at Wellington, and I think they've got about 4 staff down at LYS. So I was with Gippsland Youth.
Yeah.
Still am, but sort of not.
It's about, it's manageable with about 7.
Yeah.
Not huge.
But it was really good.
Excellent. Very good. All right. I'm Kathy. My role is workforce development with GAWA, the Gippsland Aboriginal Health and Wellbeing Alliance. So I work across here and Lake Tyers. So my HR sort of experience, I was business operations manager at UNA for nearly 2 years. So that sort of what Amy does here, finance, HR, facilities, sort of everything that isn't counselling or what you guys do. So, and a lot of my experience has come from project work. So you're not actually in charge of anyone, but you still got to get everyone to do everything. So I guess the soft skills become what you have to master to get people to do what you want them to do.
Without feeling nagged.
Yes. Bring them on the journey. So that was interesting. Currently doing a diploma of HR. And I've learned a lot about HR over the years. I'm a chartered accountant. I've done the Australian Institute of Company Directors course, got a diploma of leadership with Monash Uni, and I've got a diploma of community services, case management. So very broad.
I'm studying that at the moment.
Oh,
The
cool.
diploma of case management
Awesome.
and youth companions.
Oh, well done. Very good. So there you go. All right, let's get into it. So just a little bit of housekeeping, and then why are we doing it? What can you hope to take away? What is performance management? How do we actually do it? How do we make sure that it's consistent with our objectives for the org and our policies? And we'll have a quick look at those 4 policies. They're the main ones that sort of sit around performance management. We'll look at our timelines for getting this performance management done during the year, and what you can get out of this. What are the opportunities that can come for you out of doing performance management well? And I'll look at grievances and how they're different to other, poor performance. And then we'll have a quick look at legislation and how that affects us here. And then some questions, and then I can get you to do a feedback form, please. So I've got a couple of handouts. Questions, just ask along the way. If something doesn't make sense, just yell out, 'cause it probably doesn't make sense to someone else as well. And when someone says, oh, this is how this happens, and you just do that, oh, yeah, sure, that's going to happen here. Can you just yell out and tell me? Because that will help me kind of make sense of it. And usually that means there's something missing, and then we can work out what that is. That'd be great. Thank you. And confidentiality. So, there's 3 policies. There's the confidentiality policy, the code of conduct, and the disciplinary policy. They all touch on confidentiality. So pretty much anything to do with clients, each other, community, and anything around performance management. So, your conversations with your manager, any disciplinary actions, they're all top secret. So ask questions, but bear that in mind today. You can use scenarios, you can de-identify stuff, but even if you do all that and you think it's pretty obvious who you're talking about, maybe just catch up with me at the end. Or if you're not comfortable, there's always the employment assistance program. Give them a ring and say, I've got this issue. They're really good at just helping you work through that and giving you some ideas of how to deal with it. That cool with that? Great. Okay, so why are we doing this? So I'd like you to, after this, if you don't already know how performance management works, what your role in it is, and what are your rights, what are your responsibilities, and how can you grab it and drive it and get something out of it and take control of your own development. Often you think if I work really hard, things will happen. It doesn't always work like that. You actually need to take control of it yourself. Initiate these catch-ups, initiate the conversations and say, I'm really excited about this, or I'd really like to do that, and that's when things happen. What's around to help you thrive. So we'll have a look at those sort of things along the way, and hopefully that will give you a new sense of purpose and excitement at work. So what is performance management? So we have this, it's an ongoing cycle. It just keeps going. It's never really over. It shouldn't be. So you've got your goals. At the top, the performance development planning, that's where we set the goals. So usually that's, your position description, your work plan, all of that. So it should be really clear what you're trying to achieve moving forward. And if it's not, you need to go back to your manager and say, I don't know what I'm doing. Because that's not good for anyone if you don't understand what's expected of you. And then the ongoing discussions. So they're your quarterly catch-ups. They're the formal ones, but it should be happening a lot more often. Try and touch base with your manager once a week if you can, or more. Even something I find is useful is if you ask your manager if you can have a regular catch up in the diary once a week. It doesn't always have to happen, but at least if it's in the diary, then you know that you can keep your little list of things that you want to run past your manager, and have a decent conversation rather than them half thinking about what you're asking them from there. And then around to your performance development reviews, so your quarterly catch-ups, your annual catch-ups, and then your reward and recognition. It might be just a pat on the back or a, gee, thanks, this is a really good work. But that's important, isn't it, that we be acknowledged for what we're doing and the effort we're putting in. So, yeah, it's just ongoing. But yeah, often it's up to the employee to help drive that. It's quite easy for managers to get busy, and you get a bit left behind. So drive that, push for those meetings. So how do we do performance management? Well, we need a performance management system. So that's made up here at Mudgee of a whole lot of different things that you would be familiar with. You've got your position descriptions, your contracts, got budgets, delegations. So delegation is a document that says who can spend what on what. Your individual work plans, and then there's teamwork plans. Learning and development plans can be sort of drawn up if someone has a specific need or want to build their skills. That feedback, it can be formal, informal, just lots of feedback is really good for performance management. Unless you know how you're going, you really can't change or improve. And the record keeping is a big part of it too. You need to keep records of the conversations that you've had as an employee, so that you can hold your manager accountable if they've agreed to assist you or provide something. At least it doesn't get forgotten and left behind and no one remembers. It's all documented. And same for managers. If you're having trouble with an employee and you haven't documented any of your conversations, it's very hard. If you decide to dismiss the employee, you open yourself up to a fair work claim if you've got no evidence, no documentation of all the conversations and all the work you put in to try and help that person. And why is performance management important? So, anyone got any clues? They're all up there, but
Keeps transparency.
yeah, that's true.
Like, it shows where improvements could be made. Like,
Yeah.
you know, if you're told something, at least you'd be like, all right, I'll take it on board and
Yeah,
work it a different way.
yeah, great. Yeah, it's good too for some people get pet projects and they really want to do this. It's like, actually, Mary, that hasn't got anything to do with what the org wants to do, but you're spending a lot of work time on this pet project, and yes, it's quite valuable, but it's not what this org wants. So it's good at keeping people focused on what actually you're here to achieve. Yeah. And it keeps everyone on focus of, what skills need building and bringing your workforce forward with you. It gives you role clarity so that you know what you're supposed to be doing. That reduces a lot of stress and makes you feel better at work. And that regular, consistent feedback and coaching, if you've got a good manager who does all of that, then you start to enjoy work. You feel like you're getting somewhere. So how do you know when someone, most people go along okay and they're going really well and they'll have a little purple patch or whatever, but how do you know when someone's, or how do you know if you're below the standard you know, if you're dipping down into that, not just the regular cycle of quarterly and annual catch-ups, if you're starting to need a bit more management time, what are the sort of things that are starting to happen there?
Sorry, can you just?
So I haven't asked it very well, have I? So
No, but
if someone's not performing, how do you know what's going on?
as the manager or the employee?
Oh, either. So up here we've got like if someone's not following their work plan.
They look disinterested, they don't want to be here,
That's right. Yeah,
they're not putting any input in anymore,
that's right.
they're done.
Yeah. And how does, and then so the manager needs to kind of like pinpoint that, like be able to measure it against something. So that's when you go back to your work plans. It's like, okay, this bit's missing. I've got my record of the feedback and the conversation we had the other week. They haven't done it.
Yeah.
Okay. Their contract terms say they're here from 8 till 4 every day. They're not.
They're not.
Their PD says they need to do this and this and this. They're not. Or they've, you know, done a great job, but they're $20,000 over budget.
Yeah.
So they're the kind of, you know, you get the gut feel, but then you need those things that you can quantify, you know, and measure. And then, and it gives you all tools for the conversations. And you can come back and clarify, and it's like, well, actually, you're doing some great work there, but it's not what we need to be doing. This is what we need to be doing, and bring people back on track. And then we've got a few tools, ways to help the person who's not performing. There's a counselling form. So this one then, your little pile, it's got the red stuff on it. It's called the Employee Work Performance Counselling Form. So that's in Logi. So that's a tool that you have, your managers have to record a meeting where things are going a bit pear-shaped. And it's not something to be scared of, but it's a good way to just have that proper discussion about and inform the employee about the concerns, because they may be oblivious or they may not, but it formalises it and you get an agreement and you've got some agreed actions to take forward. Just so you know that exists, you don't get a fright whenever it turns up. And then again, your record keeping is really important there, so that you've got those records to protect you. And this is a performance improvement plan. So sometimes if the employee is not performing, the manager needs to be really clear about what specific tasks they want done, what the problem is, what action needs to be taken, who's going to do it, when it's going to be done by, and there needs to be that follow-up. So, and it needs to be timely, like it needs to be in a few days, in a week. You can't just leave it for months and think, oh, that employee's not doing what they're supposed to again, but if the manager hasn't followed up, well, you know, it's just as much their fault, isn't it? Any questions? No? Clear as mud? Yeah. So how do we make sure that our performance management and all the things we're doing are in line with Muji's strategic plan and operational plan and our policies and all of our timelines for getting all of these meetings done? So you all know you've all been through it, haven't you, with your work plans? So Louise does the board does the strategic plan, and then Louise takes from that and sets up the operational plan, so that that pretty much allocates tasks to everyone to try and get the strategic plan fulfilled in the timeframe. And from that pulls out all of our individual work plans. So by doing that, you can be pretty sure, can't you, that your objectives in your strategic plan have been met if everyone does all the tasks allocated to them. Make sense? Yeah. Cool. And the relevant policies, so the code of conduct is sort of the ground rules for working at Mgt. So do you want to grab that? Maybe we just go around the room, and does everyone want to just have a go at talking to one of them and maybe leading a little chat about, does that put you on the spot? How about we all just have a chat about behaving professionally? What do you think that looks like?
No
Respect to everyone.
Yeah,
Be on your best behaviour.
yeah.
No drinking.
That's it, yeah, so.
Yeah, I guess another one is which is with today's, social media thing, that's a big one as well, just making sure you're not putting anything up that might, go against the company.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even against community.
Yeah.
If you sort of single out somebody in community, we're here to support community,
Yeah.
you could lose your job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if the company doesn't sack you, then all of a sudden they're protecting you over community.
Yeah.
And it just makes a mockery of.
Another one for us was not on social media, not being friends with them. Like, that was our big no-no.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, always had to decline. I mean, I got that many kids asking to be friends.
That's
Yeah,
Yeah.
gets into a lot of trouble.
Yeah, great points. Number 2, respect others.
It's just that, isn't it?
That's right.
Including body language.
Yes, eye rolls definitely out these days. Okay, it's a really strong form of disrespect. You need to just say what you're thinking respectfully rather than do the eye roll.
Yeah.
No hand gestures.
Yeah. Some of us are probably following the conduct a bit more closely than others, aren't we? Conduct ourselves lawfully.
I guess just going back to that respect is not to talk about patients or anything outside of the workplace,
Yeah,
not socially or anything.
that's right. Even inappropriately at work, as you really need to, isn't it? Yeah. No, that's good. And that number 3, being lawful, driving the company cars within the laws, all those things too. Conduct ourselves ethically and fairly. Is there anything that sort of pops out at you that?
I suppose the conflict of interest is one that comes up a lot because being a small area, a lot of people might be have family members access to service and I just feel like that's one that does come up a bit in different training that we do
Yeah,
talking about, conflict of interest and how to go about it.
is it hard to manage with so many layers of?
Well, I feel like I'm lucky because I don't live in town, but I know, say Margie, like, you just go to the supermarket or something, or, you might not want to go out to the local pub for dinner because you don't want to have to worry about running into people and then people try and have discussions with you about things, like, that'd be tough for people that
Yeah.
live locally,
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Protect confidential information, we touched on that, didn't we? Use our systems, equipment, property and tools appropriately. So, be really careful what you're viewing on your laptop, all that sort of thing. And don't share your passwords. Smoke-free workplace, probably all on top of that, I'd imagine.
Yeah, thanks, Peter, on that one.
Some of us more than others.
Right. And that is 5 metres of the buildings. So, are we working within that, or is that a?
Well, I feel like that's a bit of a grey area because, I'm not getting anyone in trouble.
Yeah.
When
I feel
no
like,
one's allowed to smoke out there because that's where a lot of people used to, and it's not really good look, people driving past.
Yeah.
But I don't know whether the new place also meets those, but anyway, yeah.
Where is the new place? Where are people supposed to go?
Out the back.
Yeah,
Is that in
At the
that
car
grass?
park.
it's
Yeah.
right near the shed, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
except for if there's like official people here.
Yeah.
Then no.
Right.
okay, very good.
Handwritten.
Yeah.
It's not smoking in the car.
Okay, no smoking
We'll
in
give it
business
up.
vehicles, yeah.
I don't have anti-vaping.
Good. Make sure we're safe and fit for work. Yeah. Well, self-explanatory, isn't it? So, don't put yourself at risk. If you've got a dodgy foot,
Yeah.
don't go running down the hallway and putting yourself up, volunteering for the school camp. Look after yourself.
I think under the fit for, I'm not sure if it says it. But also, like, not just physically, but mentally as well.
Yes.
Because especially if you're working client-based, you need to be able to, work with those people whilst leaving your stuff at the door. And that's not always possible, but then you need to be able to recognise that and then, make a decision based on that, I suppose.
Yeah. And how do you manage that self-care? What supports have you got?
Mine's usually a pedicure.
That's pretty good.
Hey.
EAP.
Yeah,
Well, that too. But I thought I'd be good. I'm being on my bit.
You're gonna topple over.
So do we all know about the employment assistance program? Becky and you? Okay, well, we'll catch up after and we'll find out a bit more about that. Welcome, Helen.
I used it with the previous job years ago, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, and not just for work, I've used it when I've struggled with my kids.
It's only work related.
No, anything.
Really?
Yeah,
What's that for, sorry?
if you've got,
EAP, Employee Assistance Program.
Is it just counselling? I know GJAC had it, but they just had counselling, I think, but I don't know what else.
yeah, I haven't looked in detail in this one, but others you can get like referrals to dietitian, finance.
Yeah. That we had.
Yeah, I'll find out more and we'll do another
That'd be really good.
session on that and
You get 10 sessions of counselling.
Yeah.
well, it's different, but can really recommend it.
And I think they've got a strong obligation to follow through too, don't they?
Yes.
EAP.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just a ho-hum thing.
No, it's really useful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, we
Smart.
had a participant die in a car accident. Yeah, so a lot of the kids used our counselling, and so did a lot of the staff, which was really good. So it was something that was very much needed at that time.
And usually your family members can use it too.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll do a session on that, won't we, Ali? That sounds good. Be good.
So is that, sorry, one more, is that separate to Jeff, or is it Jeff?
Yeah,
It's separate.
yeah.
Great.
how would we access EAP?
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah, we'll get an email out with all the contact numbers and everything. Yeah. And good. And the privacy policy we've touched on, about handling everyone's information. And the staff performance reviews policy and procedure. So performance reviews aren't tied to salary increments. It's about developing you and then in turn helping the org achieve its goals, and that in itself helps community. So that's what it's all about. And there won't be, with your annual review, there won't be any new information. Like, no one's going to throw something new at you, a gripe about your performance at your annual review. It's not on, it's not allowed. So anything that's raised at your annual review will have already been, if it's negative, you'll already know about it.
oh, okay.
Okay. Quarterly catch-ups and things like that. I'd be disappointed if the first time you hear about something negative is at your quarterly catch-up. Hopefully your manager is, on the ball with that a lot quicker. But yeah, definitely not at your annual review. And the disciplinary policy, I've done a little, you've got it, a little kind of cheat sheet to sort of summarise it. So it just sort of outlines the procedures for how we address underperformance. How do we go about it? It applies to everyone, CEO down. And it has to be done in a fair way. So we talked before about what performance is. It's like you're not following your PD, you're not following your contract, you're not meeting your targets, you're not following policies, or you're not doing something that your manager's asked you to do. And it doesn't have to be just something observed by your manager. It can be something that's been observed by other people, community, board. And misconduct is slightly different to poor performance. So that's when you're not turning up for work, you're being rude to managers, other staff, clients, customers. You're being inappropriate or dishonest, you're harassing or bullying, you're not following the policies, procedures, practices, and that can sometimes be a bit grey whether that's poor performance or misconduct. And yeah, just not following lawful, reasonable direction from your manager or CEO. On the back is kind of a little flow chart. So if you want to start disciplinary processes, the first thing, the most important thing is to start. If you're having trouble with somebody, you need to do something. Don't just hope it goes away, because it doesn't. Is that what you're going to say, Kelly?
No, I was just walking around.
All right.
Wait, I'm making coffee, so
Yeah, and the first thing, don't escalate it, don't make it messy. Have that informal counselling. Have a chat. If it's your manager that's out of line, you initiate the chat. Do that. But if that informal chat, you've done it a few times, nothing's improving, you just don't know what to do next, that's when you need to get a bit formal. So you have a formal meeting, And there's a whole lot of ways to go about that. So you can have a disciplinary meeting. So you get notice. You need 12 to 24 hours notice to actually let the employee know it's going to happen. And then you're allowed to bring a support person, but that support person isn't allowed to talk in the meeting, only to reassure you or to be there. But they can't advise or they're just sort of there to listen. So, and out of that, a whole lot of things could or might not happen. So all the possible outcomes are there under number 4, possible outcomes. So sometimes it becomes quite clear after the manager's gone away and had a bit of an investigation that actually someone's got the wrong idea here. It wasn't really a problem. It's all good. Yeah. Or it's like, oh, there's something not right here. That further investigation, 4.2 there. We need to get a bit more information here. It's a bit more complicated than we thought. So then you might get a verbal warning from your manager. It's like, yep, we know you didn't realise, but yeah, do it this way next time, all over. But even though it's verbal, the manager will record that and make notes about what you agreed. Okay.
And should we do the same if it's?
Yes, I
So
think,
we document it all?
yeah, I think you should if you've had one of those meetings. Hopefully the manager will give you a copy of their notes. That's accepted reasonable practice, so that any documentation you both agreed on what it looks like. Often that's when that this form, the counselling and disciplinary form, is useful because it's an easy way to record what you've all agreed on. Yeah.
Sorry, can I? But
Yeah.
But if it's a step prior to that, just an email saying thanks for catching up in the hallway about
Yes.
Amy, you've been late all week or whatever it is. I look forward to seeing you on time next week or something like that. And like the email between the two of you is a record of capturing that conversation.
Yeah, that's an even better idea, Amy. Very good. Yeah. Excellent. And then you can have your performance improvement plan, which again is another way to record. You know, if it's a bit more serious and the emails haven't worked, or you feel like this person isn't getting it, then you've got to ramp it up a bit to these other options. And then if it's really serious and you're not getting anywhere, you've got your written warnings. And then those last 2 red ones. So you can be dismissed with a notice period, and the notice period cannot be paid, or you have to work out your notice period, or you can be dismissed without any notice on the spot, and that's usually for serious misconduct. And Fair Work won't back you if you've looked at what that is. So they're your options, and they don't have to happen in that order. They're just all the possibilities of how we can deal with performance.
Oh, I thought they would have to be in that order.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, depending on what the issue is, and yeah. And annual performance reviews. So you've got that little handout. So I believe that this will be our first annual performance review this year, next year, in May, June. Is that right, Amy?
Yeah, I've set it up in Employment Hero to start on between the 1st of May and 30th of June. So similar to how we're doing the quarterly catch-ups any time in the quarter, the annual performance review will be any time throughout May and June to complete it.
Terrific. Okay. So like we've talked about, it's nothing to be scared about. There'll be nothing new. It'll be quite similar to your quarterly catch-ups, except you'll just be looking at the year that's gone instead of the quarter that's just gone, and the year ahead instead of the quarter ahead. And then you've got a copy of all the questions that are going to be asked at your annual review there. So Number one, how you performed against your work plan. So that's pretty obvious. You'll be doing that every quarter anyway, so there shouldn't be any surprises there. You'll look at key responsibilities, so look at your position description and just go through that and make sure everything's being captured there. So again, any problems there should have come out already during the year. Number 3, compliance with the code of conduct. We've just been through that, so you know you're all over that, so that'll be easy. Number 4, your feedback for the previous 12 months. Just have a think about what you'd like to say, what's working, what isn't working for you, what you've noticed, what you think could improve. And there's a whole lot of questions there just to jog your thoughts about what you could perhaps write there. And then number 5 is about you, training needs. What do you think would be useful for you for the year ahead? And it doesn't have to be formal training, like it doesn't have to be the Excel course or whatever. It could be some kind of coaching, or I want to get better at this. Could someone shadow me? Or, could I go and, sometimes you can go and spend a day at another service and see how they do something. All sorts of options and ideas. And number 6, actions requiring follow-up. So that's where the accountability comes in. If your manager said, yep, they'll organise some coaching or, a secondment for a day or something like that, that's where it goes. And and it, requires a due date so that it doesn't get forgotten. So how are you feeling about your annual performance review? Easy? Yeah. And then the timelines, Amy's just touched on that. So annual ones are May, June each year, and your quarterly ones have to be done by the end of the quarter each year. And Amy's put all of those on Logic Queue, so all the reminders come up and then the follow-up reports are done, and anyone that's missed out is chased up. So very good. And we've touched on development opportunities. Probably the one I didn't touch on was looking at your goal setting for the year. What do you want to achieve? What do you want to get better at?
Are there courses on Excel and Word?
There's all sorts of things
Something
around.
the AMP said, isn't it?
Really?
Yeah, Excel, I saw them the other day.
Oh.
So you can just enroll, like you can self-enroll in any of those.
Oh.
Like we set the standard ones that you have to do.
Yeah.
There's heaps.
Oh.
And so it's good to run that past your manager. Is nothing worse as a manager than your staff member that hasn't done anything on their work plan, but the ANZD report says they've done 80 hours of training for the fortnight. So just agree on what you're going to do and whether it's work related, whether it's going to help you in your role.
Yeah.
And these development opportunities, you don't have to wait for your quarterly catch up or your annual review. Go to your manager at any time, and hopefully you're having these weekly catch ups so that they're the good times to. So I'm having trouble with this, I'd like to be better at it. Come up with ideas. It's really good if your staff can suggest solutions, and then you can sort of brainstorm. And grievances. So they're different to poor performance. So that's when someone's annoying you at work, or a condition at work is annoying you. Like there's some requirement and you're just like, that doesn't make any sense anymore, it's stupid. So how do you reckon the best way is to handle these sort of situations?
Let's nip it in the bud.
Yeah, great. Yeah, how would you do that?
By talking to the person or the people directly as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and if that doesn't work, Yeah, good work, Meg. Yeah. Yeah, and if that doesn't work, we've got the grievance policy. So the grievance policy pretty much says if you're having trouble and you can't work it out by talking to the person, talking to your manager, then you put it in writing, and then your manager or the CEO has got 7 days to respond and to organise mediation.
Who do you put it in writing to?
To your manager.
Oh,
Probably CC, probably your manager and the CEO if you feel like it's getting anywhere. Yeah. And yeah, and sometimes a grievance, once you investigate it, it's like actually there's some performance issues here as well. So then you've got another job as a manager to sort that out as well. So there's a lot of legal and regulatory requirements that wrap around or make the need, sit with performance management. So you've got your fair work laws that they determine how you treat your staff and the conditions that you provide, the equal opportunity, so making sure that you don't treat some staff better than others. Your OH&S, so you've got to keep everyone safe. Your Privacy Act, your Fair Work guidelines. So the Ombudsman has a whole lot of, you can go onto their website, there's all sorts of tools there for, doing this performance management. So there's a whole lot of legislation and stuff covered in the workplace, and us mere mortals can't know all of it. So Amy and Louise have created this whole labyrinth of documents because they have to. And if we follow all of these documents, and we've looked at most of them and we've talked briefly about them all, our policies, our contracts, and then all of the performance management stuff. So, having feedback, having our work plans, having our contracts, and all of that stuff for the underperformers, the performance improvement plans, and using the Employment Hero and LogiQ to track and record everything. Following all those things means that we're compliant with all that legislation. So if we just do what our internal policies and procedures tell us to do, we'll be in line with all the legislation.
And just on that as well, if you're reading the policy and you think that bit makes no sense to me, I'd really like it to elaborate on that. Let us know, that provide that feedback to us so that we can update the policy and procedures so that it does make sense. Because it's no good to anyone if it's sitting in the background in jargon that no one understands, and we don't always have time to make the policies as great as we'd love them to be. But when we get feedback, we love to be able to action that and update the procedure at the end of the document so that it makes more sense and becomes usable rather than this thing that you just ignore because it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I'll say yes, please.
Yeah.
And I've got this background document that if you do provide the feedback, I will register that, and when we come to review the policies, we'll pick that up. So yes, please.
Great call, Amy. Thank you. Good. So just to wrap up, we need to. I've got a little video, but it's already 11. So if anyone wants to hang back and watch it, it goes for 4 minutes. It's just a really good example of performance management, and I think it'd be useful to even have it in your head for managing your kids and all sorts of things. Anyway, so So we need to talk often with our manager about our work. We need to drive that, especially if our manager is busy and gets caught up. Ask for help if you need it. Share your ideas for training and learning new skills. They might say no, but they might be really excited by it and be able to support you with that. If they say no, there's probably, they'll give you a very good reason. And moving forward, check your work plan, check your PD, make sure you're in line with it, and think of one thing that you want to improve or learn, so that when you have your next meeting with your manager, you can have a chat about it and see where that goes. Do we have any questions? How are you feeling? You're on top of performance management?
Yeah, it's good to have that, what's the word, reaffirmation of it.
Yeah, revisit it. Yeah. Cool. And if I could get you all to fill out a feedback form, that will be really helpful. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Very good. I'll hand them now.
Thanks, Kathy. Bye.
See you, Amy. Thank you for coming.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Wendy. See you.
Do you want this done now?
Up to you, but yeah, that'd be great. We could watch the video if you like while we fill them out. And does anyone need anything? You good, Ellie? Oh, thanks, Kate.
Oh, you want to? Oh, look at that, perfect amount.
Thanks.